welcome back to Kevin Reviews. Happy Thanksgiving. If it's a day late, then happy belated Thanksgiving or happy holidays to anybody who don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Um, but yeah, I feel like I should mention that. I know I mentioned it in the my other review that I released this week, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So I'm not sure which one's going to come out first. So I just figured say it again both times on those occasions. I got Tally next to me. He's just wanting to climb up. Um, Sorry. Anyway, I saw this morning Zootopia 2. This is by Walt Disney Pictures, directed by Jared Bush and Byron Howard, and also written by Jared Bush. The cast includes returning Ginnifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman, Idris Elba, and Nate Torrance, as well as new cast including Key Huy Quan. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Fortune Feimster and Andy Samberg. Um, we also got Patrick Warbuton Burton, and Danny Trejo. So, if you've seen my review for Zootopia, the first Zootopia in 2016, I said I gave it 5 stars. It was definitely it came out at a time where it tackled some serious issues. That it was a great lesson, along with beautiful animation and memorable and likable characters, and a pretty good mystery involving predators being turning savage. So there's a lot of good things about the film. Um, so I was hesitant with Zootopia 2 because it well yeah, I was a tad bit hesitant because I wasn't sure where they're going to go, because obviously after the events on the first one, they know it's going to go into like the buddy cop territory, which is fine. It was well liked. I think Bad Boys is one of those movies that people do like from the 90s, and there's like the other guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. So many people do like buddy cop movies, those you know type of movies where very different cops and personalities kind of clash in terms of finding the case, solving the case, and that's fine. It's not a huge issue. It is kind of repetitive. I'm sorry, she just knocked something over. In any case, I can't even do my recordings with her. Um, so I don't know, and then but it did bring up some, does offer some new stuff from what the trailers show. But still, I was kind of hesitant because I don't know what they could do other than get a new case, and that's basically it. It's a new case. So what are they going to do that may feel like new and fresh? So I don't know, but I did see it today. So here's my review of Zootopia 2. So Zootopia 2 continues strangely a week after the events of the original Zootopia. Judy Hopps, played by Ginnifer Goodwin, and Nick Wilde, played by Jason Bateman, are cops, are solving cases. But of course, I mean, granted, they save this Zootopia first time in a week, then they're pretty much mess ups, or because apparently their partnership is very rocky. It's because of their conflicting personalities. Where Judy's more gung ho, always want to do the right thing, good, in terms of solving the case, making everything better, versus um, Nick Weil, who's more restrained, introverted, just kind of, but does like to go with the flow of things, but still very sly, and knows how to work certain like undercover operations. So, but the story goes is that the Zootopia doesn't has has a snake problem. There's a snake that infiltrated Zootopia, and they are, and then it has to do something with this book that the snake is trying to steal, um, from a family of lynx. I don't know what, I don't know exactly know their names, to be perfectly honest, but Ebenezer Linksley, I believe. Um, so they steal a book, and then but there's something else going on under that story, under what's going on with the book. So Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde are framed, and are basically, trying to help Gary the Snake, play by Huy Quan, which I hope I'm not, I'm probably butchered a bit, and try to figure out what's going on involving the world of reptiles, because that's one thing the other film did not answer, is where are the reptiles. Um, Come to think of it, I don't think I remember even seeing birds in the last one, so maybe that's for another sequel. Um, I might be wrong on that. So my thoughts are, I think it's good. It's familiar and safe, though. It does have to take. It does try to still go with the message like as the first one, which is fine, but not quite as much. Instead, it does, as kind of my expectations going in. It is the typical buddy cop movie, um, where, granted, it's weird that they have to say a week. It's like, so we have 2016 versus 2025, and we have a lifespan of a week of Judy and Nick Wilde as partners, which I I don't know. Granted, Incredibles kind of did the same thing with Incredibles 2, which is odd, but still whatever. But yeah, it to me it kind of just it was good. The animation is still very well done. I like that it builds more on the world of Zootopia, and as well, and even the lore, bringing reptiles and other creatures, and including new environments this time. Um, so there's that, but and the characters are still likable enough, that you want to see where it's going. You're still invested in it. I think the writing, for especially the humor, is kind of all over the place. I mean, granted, it does poke more fun at certain animal things, or traits. Um, I think there's like one involving a sea lion who's doesn't want to be called seal, or there's I don't know. There's like a weird moment in that. And then there's like other humorous moments where I think it tries maybe a little bit too hard to appeal to adults. They try to get away with some swearing. There's like, I mean, I'll probably say it. There's a moment where like someone steps on a pig's foot, and the pig was basically saying, "What the pork?" So there's that. So it kind of reminded me of Angry Birds with Red saying, "Pluck my life," which, yeah, it's not funny. It's not even remotely clever, and it just seems more like an excuse. And then there's like other some references to certain movies. One is actually pretty good, a reference to something from Disney. There are two references that don't make sense. And granted, it's not like the first Zootopia didn't do that either. I mean, they did that with The Godfather, which, fine enough, fair enough. It's not. I mean, it's memorable in a way for at least kids, but then the other two references don't really make a ton of sense, or it didn't really felt that needed. Um, and it involves like horror movies, or I won't say it here because I don't want to give anything away. Though that there is it kind of just breezes by pretty fast. But it doesn't feel needed. You could have cut it out really. So I don't know. Um, then there's some of the even the writing at times it for Judy and Nick especially is really awkward. There's even like dramatic moments where they, they're trying to, try to get their feelings across, and at times it does do well. And then like the last third, when there's kind of this emotional release, they really do it in an very awkward way that's not exactly funny, and it goes by really fast. That you don't even. It's kind of hard to keep track of what they're saying. Um, and it's also weird that the movie seems to like want to push them into like not only as partners as a police cop, but partners like in a relationship, which I don't know why. I mean, well, granted, it's Utopia. You can be who you want to be, and that makes sense. But I don't know. I would have preferred just it didn't. At times it just doesn't come off like they're actually partners on a police force. They try to force that, and maybe that was intentional or intentional. I think for adults you kind of pick it up pretty quick. For kids maybe not so much, I don't know, but they kind of really do push it, um, which I don't think is needed. um, let's see, how are the new characters? Gary Kihu Quan, I'm again butchering the name. Um, I think was fine. He did fine as Gary this snake. You got Patrick Warburton, who also is fine. He has some humorous moments, but there is some weird character change. Um, it goes all over the place with his character. And then there's like another character, another animal, a lynx, played by Andy Samberg. I have to look at my screen, and he kind of goes through the same thing. It's very weird, and it's like I don't know. It doesn't always entirely add up, overall, and sometimes it can be pretty predictable. What will happen later on in the movie? Maybe kids will not get it, but I think for adults, they will get it more. Um, there are moments where it just kind of repeats the same stuff. I mean, the ending scene, we get that Shakira is back in this, so obviously there's going to be another song involving her. I mean, it's not a big deal, but still, that's another thing they repeat. Um, some characters make return. Dash the sloth makes a slight cameo return. Then we have Fortune Feimster. I'm not sure who I think could get some laughs, but I didn't really work for me. I don't know exactly how to say it. I think it really tries to appeal more for kids than adults, or overall. I gotta pause. Sorry. So yeah, I don't I think Fortune Feimster as this beaver. She plays this beaver. I forget her name all of a sudden. I could barely remember a lot of the new characters' names except for the Mayor Wind Dancer. I mean, um, you know, that's funny enough as it is in terms of the name. But I don't know. A lot of the new characters, I don't. I vaguely remember. Or well, not vaguely. I mean, I just saw it, but I it didn't really leave much of an impact on me, um, overall. But it does feel like a Disney sequel that felt more like an obligation than it is like wanting to continue, um, you know, be push the envelope to make, and I'm sorry, and try to make it more interesting and different enough from the first one. And it does pretty good share amount of it. But I think this one where it I think in the original where it appeals a lot to just everyone. This one mainly appeals for kids. I think that's the idea. I think frankly, I would compare Zootopia to maybe say Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Finding Nemo is like one of my favorite Pixar movies ever. Reverse and then Finding Dory, it's enjoyable, but it's not as good as the first one. To be perfectly honest, in my opinion, I may rewatch that and give my opinion on it. But I don't know. I think Zootopia 2 is fun for kids, and it can be fun for adults for a time. It's just kind of I really wish it went further and you know with the story or and the writing can be a bit more humorous or something like that. But frankly, I think it plays a tad bit more safe than I would have liked it to be. Um, but I mean, it is a kids movie, so I mean, you you know, kind of have to try to play it safe a bit. So I don't know. But that's my thoughts on Zootopia 2. I think I would give it. I think I give it 3.5. It's a fun time. It's a um, good time to take your kids. If you want to watch it by yourself, you can. I think it's a fun enough time. You still that's familiar, yet safe. But yeah, I mean the animation, the mystery involving what the snake, Gary the snake, is doing in Zootopia, um, is good enough to keep you the as well as the characters that are good enough to keep you invested. But yeah, I don't think this is as good as the first one. I mean, granted, it's probably about the same. For most sequels, the sequels don't usually do as good as the first one. There are exceptions, like I mean, another animated film which is not Disney that I can think of is DreamWorks Kung Fu Panda. I really liked the first Kung Fu Panda, and the second one blew the first one out of the water, in my opinion. Yeah. Um, I should also mention that I'm not sure, maybe I did mention it, but there are moments where it tries to be very dramatic, and then yet they try to put some funny stuff in it with it that's kind of awkward and out of place. Not all of them, but there are moments where it does. Um, yeah, and Idris Elba, I forgot. Yeah, I'm just remembering certain things. Idris Elba isn't in the movie that long. Um, good for a portion of the beginning, but then he's just kind of gone for the rest of the movie. So he's overall kind of pointless, but not awful. So yeah, I think overall Zootopia again, I think I would give 3.5 stars. It's a good time. I recommend it if you're a fan of the first one, and if you have really young kids, I think really young kids will really enjoy this movie. Love the animation, the characters. So yeah, 3.5 stars for Zootopia 2. But what are your thoughts on Zootopia 2? Leave in the comments below. Feel free to like or dislike the review if you wish, and feel free to subscribe to my channel and um, and click the notification bell. I'm sorry, I'm blanking a bit. Yeah, click the notification bell so you can be updated on any more videos that are coming out. We're moving into December. I haven't quite thought ahead on like what to do about decorating, like maybe for for the holidays, but we'll see. Also, there might be a update later, either this next month in December or beginning of the year. Probably likely beginning of the new year as well. Probably make an update. But in any case, thank you for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next review. Bye.